Greg Milam there. So just a reminder that in the last few minutes, the BBC has apologised to the former Strictly Come Dancing contestant Amanda Abbington, saying that it assessed and upheld some but not all of her complaints. The Press Association understands that the findings that she made against the dancer Giovanni Pernice, there were no findings relating to physical aggression, but complaints of verbal bullying and harassment were upheld. And in the last few moments, we had a very strongly worded statement from Amanda Abbington herself. Let's bring in our art and entertainment correspondent. Katie Spence is outside New Broadcasting House for us. Katie, this is a shadow that's been hanging over the current series of Strictly Come Dancing, which just started a couple of weeks ago. The BBC very much wanted to get this report out of the way before the series started, but wasn't able to. What do you make of what the BBC have announced and what Amanda is now saying?
Look, it's certainly interesting that it has taken them that long to reach this decision. Yes, they would have wanted to clear this well before the start of the new season, but I think because, and they admit in their statement, the complex nature of the accusations that were being levelled by Amanda Abbington, because it is so complex, it has taken them a while to process. Effectively, what they say here is appeases everyone. Amanda Abbington, they say, as you say just then, while complaints of verbal bullying and harassment were upheld, claims of physical aggression were not. Giovanni Pernice has always strongly denied any suggestion of abusive or threatening behaviour. The BBC in their statement said they want to apologise to Amanda Abbington and thank her for coming forward, because they say that they understand that it wouldn't have been an easy thing to do. And we know from what Amanda Abbington has said, the fallout from her speaking publicly about Giovanni Pernice and the allegations that she was making against him were death threats against her family and just a complete backlash from the public. And she has put out a statement in response to the BBC's findings. She said, the BBC has indicated today in its statement, my decision to come forward and complain about Giovanni Pernice's conduct towards me was not an easy thing to do. In the days, weeks and months since I've been accused of being a liar, of being mad and unstable, I've also received rape and murder threats and a bomb threat. Despite this vile abuse, she says, I've never regretted coming forward, and today's apology from the BBC is a vindication of my complaint. It's not just a vindication for me, she says, it's a vindication for the other people who have contacted me since I made my complaint to express their concerns about their experiences on Strictly. She goes on to say that the BBC have actually invited her to meet with senior management, and this is something that she's going to be considering taking them up on. But she says fundamentally it's the apology that does mean a great deal to her. The BBC, in the statement they've put out, we're yet to hear from Giovanni Pernice what his reaction, what his response is, but the BBC has said they always take bullying and harassment very seriously. While they have apologised to her they're pointing to her, they point to the measures that they've introduced since July and that are happening on the current series, that they have those chaperones with all the dancers at all time. They say they've got 15 training room observers in place for rehearsals who are completing daily logs, they say in this statement, which cover everything from breaks to warm-ups to rest periods to make sure that the dancers' well-being is paramount, really, to this series. And they've also said in the statement today that since the start of the series, they've now got weekly welfare meetings with the show's senior team. So it's interesting. It's taken them a while to come to this conclusion, and in a way, it comes out in favour of the dancer Giovanni Pernice and Amanda Abbington as well. That he's hasn't been found guilty, if you like, of any of the more serious things, but they are in this statement and with this apology saying that they're sorry and that they feel like they let Amanda Abbington down by not taking her a bit more seriously.
And what of him? I mean, he is not on the current show, is he? He's now dancing on the Italian version of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just checking very quickly to see whether or not we've had a statement come through from him, but nothing at the moment. But we know from the very beginning of when this inquiry started that he was wanting to talk publicly because he found it hugely frustrating that he was having to sort of follow the BBC processes, the red tape of making sure that he wasn't speaking until it was the appropriate time to do so. So we are expecting him to talk a little later on. But yes, this clears him certainly of anything aggressive or violent, which which was the claim that was being made by Amanda Abbington. Yeah, I mean, look, he's been accepted onto a different version of Strictly. He was a former winner of this Strictly and a real fan favourite. So I think he will be wanting to give his comment certainly on the status of this inquiry. And now we do finally know what the outcome is.